Hiya, welcome to Craftwerk. I'm Ruthie and today I'm back with another video, and this time I've got a pattern review for you. I haven't done one of these in a while, so I thought it was high time, and I haven't done one for named clothing patterns before, despite the fact that I make loads of their patterns. And if you don't believe me, then check out my summer sewing review video where it's pretty much all named clothing patterns. Yeah, I really love the style of them, so they always tend to speak to me. I get really excited about the new collections. A little backstory as to why I've made what I've made, which is the Ronja Dungarees. Actually, I'm also wearing the Helmi shirt, kind of. It's very heavily modified, and that's because I've made two Helmi shirts before. It's not necessarily my style, but as I say, I try not to buy too many patterns, so I just tried to modify it. I forgot that one of my problems with it originally is that it's a little bit short. I would just like it to be a little bit longer. It just sits in the wrong place on my hips. So yeah, I heavily modified the Helmi shirt pattern into what I'm wearing, but because it sits in the wrong place on my hips, I didn't really like it just with my jeans. So I have been wearing it with my dungarees. Now, I bought this pair of dungarees in Topshop about a year ago, and I really wanted some dungarees. I was procrastinating making some, so I was just looking for some casual, easy dungarees. I actually tried on quite a few pairs from different shops, and it was traumatic, as high street shopping is for me, especially when I have to try things on. But eventually I found these Topshop ones. They're now quite big on me. I think they've stretched a bit, I've lost a bit of weight, and they're just a little bit big, so they're just very, very casual. I mainly wear them for like dog walking or just like errands around the house. But I really liked this shirt with them, and actually that was becoming my favourite outfit to like wear to the pub, but it felt weird with those dungarees, and I felt like the dungarees also weren't giving me much shape. The shirt was making up for that because it's sheer and it's flowy, so it was kind of like showing my shape a little bit more, so it was making up for that a little bit. But I knew that I wanted to try and make a pair of dungarees and to focus on making a pair that would feel kind of more formal, if that's possible for dungarees to be formal. That's what I wanted. So started chopping around the patterns again, and Tilly brought out the Mila dungarees, but I've tried on like skinny dungarees and they look weird on me. So and I saw some of the other ones. I know there's a Kwik Sew pair, but they looked like a little bit too similar to my Topshop dungarees. So I decided to trust named. Now, when the Ronja dungarees came out, I really liked them, but I wasn't sure, maybe because of the crossover back, and I didn't think that they looked particularly high-waisted. But as I say, I thought, let's trust named. They don't usually let me down. So I went for it, and I made my Ronja dungarees. I got the PDF, and I cut out a size 12, kind of. Now, I looked at the measurements, and I already worked out that the hips were going to be quite important, so it was important to grade out to my correct hip size, which in this case was a size 14. On the waist, I graded down to a size 10, so everything else was a size 12. Now, as I'm saying that, I'm realising that, there weren't very many pattern pieces that, because of that, didn't need altering. Anyway, I'm glad I did, because it kind of fit like right off the bat. The fabric that I got is a suedette, which is like a polyester version of a suede, I think. It wasn't very expensive. I got it from Rolls and Rems in Lewisham, which doesn't have an online shop, I'm afraid. So this was £5 a metre, and I ended up getting 5 metres because I wanted it for these, and I also want to make a pair of Lander pants by True Bias, which I'm hoping to make this week. So I might be able to show you that in my next video. But yeah, I got 5 metres because, as I say, it was a bit of a bargain. I really like the style. I felt like, because it's like suedette, it feels a bit more formal, and I felt like that would be what I was looking for. This fabric is really easy to work with. It didn't need too much pinning. It frays relatively easily, so I did have to overlock everything, but otherwise Not a problem at all, and yeah, I really enjoyed working with it, so I'm looking forward to using it for the lander pants as well. It's a little bit more lightweight, I think, than I really thought it was when I was in the shop, but I quite like that about it. It feels like this is a pair of dungarees that will see me through the majority of the year. This isn't the easiest pattern in the world. It's not the hardest either. I chose it partly because it looked relatively simple, but here's the thing. Named pattern instructions can be a little bit more vague than, certainly than I'm used to, because I predominantly use indie patterns rather than any from like the big four. Generally it was okay because the construction is relatively simple, particularly like this top bit, super easy, exactly as you expect it to be. The trousers, yeah, there were some odd bits, like because of the way it is, because of the fastenings being on the side and on both sides, the construction of the trousers is a little bit different to what I'm used to particularly. So there was one instruction that just said sew the inseams together. Now my issue with that is like that was when all of the pieces were separate. That was like the first thing to construct the trousers together after you've done like the pleats and the pockets. It was like, right, now you're putting the legs together. But it didn't say that, it just said sew the inseams together. The picture did, in this case, help, but I felt like they only needed like another sentence to like really clarify what that meant. But yeah, luckily the picture did help in that case. There were other times, like for example, I did actually really struggle with the button plackets. There just wasn't enough information in the instructions, and maybe it's just me, but yeah, I've seen other people say before that named patterns can be a little bit too vague and could do with, just slightly more direction. So that's why they're not normally considered like a beginner pattern company. They are definitely more intermediate to advanced. So if you haven't sewn before, named isn't the way to go. It just isn't. Like, there are loads of great pattern companies for beginner sewers, like Tilly and the Buttons, even a lot of the Sew Over It patterns, etc, etc. And even like other intermediate pattern companies like Closet Case do give a lot more detail, and so I did struggle with a few of those things. I'm not 100% sure I've got it right. I'm not actually sure this is what it's supposed to look like, and it's definitely a little bit more like jaggedy than I would like it to be. It's not as neat. Yeah, this isn't the most expensive fabric, so yeah, I feel okay about it not being perfect. It will never be perfect anyway. I'm totally making my peace with that at the moment. It's a little bit frustrating that I feel like it could have been neater if I'd had a little bit more direction. But yeah, maybe that's just me, but that's something to keep in mind. If, like me, you're used to patterns being very descriptive, then yeah, you might struggle a little bit, especially if you haven't sewn a pair of trousers before. And then I also didn't make any fit adjustments, apart from, as I say, grading a little bit. But usually with trousers, I will shorten the crotch at the front and lengthen the back. If I make these again, I will do small adjustments in those areas. It doesn't need that much. So I'm glad I followed my instincts when I looked at the pattern flat. It just looked like the crotch wasn't very long in terms of the curve. The curve seemed quite short. And the back seemed relatively big, as long as I like graded that out right to the biggest size at that point, if that makes sense. But yeah, as I say, I'm glad I did that because it could do with going a little bit longer. Does that make any sense? The other thing I found was, for some reason, the back facing was about an inch too short. I don't know what I've done. I've checked the pattern piece, but yeah, I just cut it out again and did another one that wasn't too difficult to do. If I make it again in the future, I can make those adjustments. I absolutely love how this has turned out, and I feel like it's going to be one of those like garments that will see me through so much that will, feels like a staple to my style, because it feels like it really reflects my style, because it's kind of a little bit more tailored than a regular dungaree. It feels a bit more formal than a regular dungaree, but it's still like casual. Like this would be something that I would consider to be like dressed up, this outfit. This would be like my dressed up, like going out to dinner, or playing a gig, or going to a meeting. Something like any of those things, anything where I need to wear more than what I would wear dog walking or around the house. Like this feels perfect, and it, yeah, as I say, it really feels like it reflects my style. It goes with everything, so I can wear it with jumpers, I can wear it with t-shirts, I can wear it with all my shirts. So that's a really nice thing. That feels like it's an addition to my wardrobe that, yeah, really fits in with everything else I've got and really adds to it as well. I think this garment is gonna get a lot of wear. I really, really love it. The fit isn't perfect. They're not perfect. As I say, there are imperfections, but I'm not bothered. I'm never really that bothered about little imperfections like that. This definitely feels just really nice, really suits my style, really fits in. I really love them. I hope you do too. Let me know what you think down below. Do you have any plans to make any dungarees? Do you think dungarees can ever be formal, or do you think that's just a Ruthie thing? Maybe it's not formal at all, but yeah, as I say, I really love them. I want to wear them constantly. I never want to take them off. And I forgot to say, they are really, really comfortable as well. So yeah, that's all I have to say about this pattern. I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you did, then don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. I hit 1,000 subscribers this week. I'm so happy. Thank you so, so, so much. I really appreciate your support. I will be doing like a special video on that and a giveaway and all of those lovely things. But yeah, just for this week, that kind of creeped up on me a little bit. I know I mentioned that I was nearly there in my last video, but yeah, you can probably hear, and you will have known if you saw my last video, I've had a bit of a cold. I've had that cold that's been going around, that's quite a long-term cold and keeps like coming back and going away and coming back. I've had that one, but yeah, I am getting on it again now, don't worry. And yeah, I'm really excited for more videos. I've got loads and loads of ideas, but if you have any requests, do let me know. I am listening and I am working on all the requests that I've had so far. So yeah, please do let me know if you have any ideas for videos in the comments, and go and follow me on Instagram and Facebook as well, because I share lots of behind the scenes over there. Thanks for watching. I hope you have a great week, and I will see you again next Sunday. Bye!